American, I'll be honest. I don't like this man as president of our country. I love being an American. I really do. But I don't feel like he represents me, and that matters. Even with past presidents I didn't agree with politically, I could still say, okay, I may disagree, but I understand their role. This feels different, and maybe that's why what happened next stood out so much. Because when Donald Trump appeared on David Letterman's show, it didn't feel like a conversation. It felt like a strategy. Trump came in with one clear goal: not to debate, not to explain, not even to answer questions, but to dominate the room. It's a style people had seen before. Interrupt, insult, reframe the question, shift the focus, turn the conversation into something else entirely, something louder, messier, until people stop asking what's true and start reacting to tone instead. But this wasn't a rally. This wasn't a friendly stage. This was David Letterman, someone who had spent decades handling strong personalities, unpredictable guests, and live television pressure. He knew exactly how moments like this unfold. The show opened like any other. Applause, smiles, familiar energy. Trump walked out confidently, waving like he owned the cameras. He sat down, a little closer than usual, leaning forward, already trying to take control. Before a real question was even asked, he started setting the tone. Complaints about unfair treatment, jabs at writers, a quick nickname thrown in. It was subtle, but intentional. If you control the atmosphere early, you control everything that follows. But Letterman didn't push back. Not yet. Instead, he let Trump talk. And that was the first trap. Because sometimes, the fastest way to reveal something is to give it space. Trump filled the air, confidently, constantly, leaning into stories, side comments, exaggerated claims. Letterman nodded, smiled, let it happen. And slowly, something shifted. The more Trump talked, the less he actually said. Then, finally, Letterman leaned forward, his tone calm, almost friendly. "Great," he said. "Since you like being in control, let's do it your way." The audience chuckled, expecting a joke. But then Letterman reached under his desk and pulled out a laminated card. On it, in bold letters, one question. Now the room got quieter. He held it up like a referee setting the rules. "You get 60 seconds, he said. "No detours, no personal attacks, just one answer." Trump smirked. "Easy," he replied. But the energy had changed. Letterman then asked the question slowly, clearly, making sure no one could miss it. "Name one thing you're proud of that helped ordinary people, and explain it without insulting anyone." A timer appeared on the screen, and just like that, it started. At first, Trump sounded confident. Words like tremendous, historic, nobody's ever seen anything like it. But within seconds, something shifted. Instead of answering, he drifted back into familiar territory. Complaints about the media, attacks on opponents, boasting about crowd sizes. The question, still unanswered. Letterman didn't interrupt, not once. He simply pointed, quietly, at the timer as it kept ticking down. And suddenly, the room felt different. Because now, it wasn't about opinions. It was about time. About whether an answer would actually come. 10 seconds left. 5, 3, and then, buzzer. The audience laughed, but not casually. It was sharper, recognizing. Trump leaned back, visibly annoyed. "Stupid game," he snapped. But Letterman stayed calm. "It was a simple question," he replied, "and you still didn't answer it." That's when the room erupted. Trump tried to regain control, raising his voice, accusing the show of bias, claiming the audience was against him. But Letterman didn't argue. He didn't match the energy. Instead, he flipped the card over. On the back were printed quotes, Trump's own words, large, clear, dated. Letterman read one, then another. That contradicted it. Then a third. No commentary, no jokes, just the record. Every time Trump tried to interrupt, Letterman raised a single finger, calm, firm, like a judge controlling a courtroom. And something became obvious. Trump wasn't being attacked. He was being measured. And measurement doesn't react to volume. It doesn't care about tone. It just reveals what's there. The audience began clapping, not for a punchline, but for the pattern they were seeing unfold in real time. That's when Trump tried his final move. He pushed his chair back slightly, threatened to leave, said they were done. But Letterman stopped him, gently. "One more thing," he said. "Just a yes or no answer." And in that moment, everything slowed down. Because yes or no removes the performance. No room for detours. No space for storytelling. Just truth. Letterman asked, "Do you believe you owe the public the truth, even when it makes you look bad?" Trump started talking again, longer this time. Witch hunts, media bias, unfair coverage. But Letterman quietly cut in. "Just yes or no." The audience laughed, louder now, because everyone could see what was happening. And then Letterman delivered the line that sealed the moment. "You came here to bully the host, but a question can't be bullied. It can only be dodged." For a brief second, Trump had nothing. No comeback, no nickname, no interruption, just silence. He stood up, forced a laugh, and acted like he had somewhere more important to be. But the moment had already landed, because by the next morning, every clip showed the same three things: the timer, the buzzer, and the moment he couldn't answer. Sometimes it's not the loudest voice that wins the room. Sometimes it's the simplest question and the silence that follows it.